welcome to Makeup Mamas. My name is Priscilla and I upload makeup related videos every Tuesday. I might throw in a few other little videos like shorts throughout the week, maybe one or two, just kind of depends. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I also post makeup related content there as well, so I'll go ahead and leave that linked below. I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow palette declutter. This is sort of part one of my declutter because I do have single eyeshadows. I didn't include them in this video, but I am going to be doing a separate one decluttering my single eyeshadows. I rarely reach for them, but I want to bring them out to kind of remind myself what I have, what I want to keep, and what, you know, I can go ahead and pass along. If you guys are ready, let's declutter some eyeshadow palettes, which will make room so I can buy maybe like one or two other eyeshadow palettes. Let's roll on. The first palette we're starting off with is the Nightingale Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. It's very neutral, but a cool tone neutral. I've been holding on to this palette for such a long time. It was in the BoxyCharm quite a few years ago, and I just kept thinking, oh yeah, I'll use it one day because it's neutrals and I love neutrals, but I just never really gravitate towards it. I'm gonna put this in my giveaway pile. This is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. It was the Vault set. I only have two of these. The first one I have is the Magic or Dark Magic. I am gonna be giving this one away as well. I really never gravitate to this one, and a lot of the shades I really don't use. I mean, I'm more of a brown kind of gal, and some of the eyeshadows, the mattes, feel a little drying even when I was swatching them to show you guys the swatches. So the only color that I really like and I kept it was for Power Cut, but why keep one eyeshadow palette for one color, you know? Maybe I can just like depot that one. And here are the colors. This one here is another one of the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palettes from the Vault, and this one is Bling Boss, and it looks like that. It's more of the like purple tones of that collection. And this one, I have not reached for it, but I did not realize that the color scheme of it, and I want to give it another try. I'm sort of like on the fence. This was the only shade that felt sort of dry for me because I'm on the fence. I'm thinking that all of the eyeshadows that I'm sort of like 50-50 on, I'll probably do an eyeshadow look with them to see if I like them still or not. And if I do, then I will keep it, and if I don't, then I will be putting it in my giveaway basket. The Pastels Rose by Huda Beauty, I've only used this eyeshadow palette once, and that was when I made my video. I didn't like that these shades here have fallout. They're very shimmer shades, are more like a glitter as well, a very fine glitter, and I just don't like when these eyeshadow palettes have like the fine glitter pressed eyeshadows and they have fallout. I did purchase a glitter glue and I actually like how it works, so I am gonna use that with this eyeshadow palette to help me see if I want to keep it or not. I really do like the colors of it. It's a very nice springish palette. Now I have three LA Colors eyeshadow palettes in different sizes. This one here is the LA Colors Sweet 16 color eyeshadow palette, and I am not going to be keeping this one. I think I got it for $5 at 5 and Below. I just don't gravitate towards it. I used it I think twice, and the color payoff, you need to build up some of them to get the look that you're going for, but I just don't gravitate towards it, so I am going to be putting this in my giveaway pile. The next LA Colors one is the Nude Eyeshadow Quad. I just recently purchased this one. I am going to be keeping this one. I've only used it once, so I want to go ahead and play with it some more, but it's just an easy eyeshadow palette, easy for beginners to use. And I did get this for $1 at the 99-cent store. The last eyeshadow palette from LA Colors is this nude one that I actually did a quick review on it. I'll link that below if you guys want to see it. All of the videos that I did using these eyeshadow palettes, I'll go ahead and link below. And I am going to be keeping this one here. And I did get this one at Dollar Tree for $1. What? For my ColourPop eyeshadow palettes, I'm not gonna get rid of any of them. This one here is the Star Wars Mandalorian The Child eyeshadow palette. Don't mind it. It is quite dirty and I am gonna keep it. I do like the color tones of this eyeshadow palette. Helps me get out of my comfort zone. And I did get, of course, as I mentioned, the glitter glue, so I am gonna be playing with this eyeshadow palette again. I didn't like using some of the pressed glitter ones because, well, I would always get fallout since I didn't have that glitter glue, but now that I do, I am excited to play with it. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys have seen that I have been using the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of eyeshadow palette. And it is a beautiful palette. I love the colors, very spring-like colors, and it works well too. And the glitter glue, I used it with this one here, and there was like minimal fallout. But I am going to be keeping this palette. This one here is You Had Me at Hello ColourPop eyeshadow palette, of course. I got this one in a boxy charm, if I remember correctly, years ago. Definitely like a neutral, has like a mauve shade there, but I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. These are like my go-to colors, so I definitely will be keeping this one. The last eyeshadow palette from ColourPop is the collab with Kathleen Lights, the Dream Street eyeshadow palette. This is the only one from ColourPop that doesn't have a mirror for me, but other than that, the colors are really nice. I really enjoy using this eyeshadow palette. I know if you have this one, you'll notice that some of my colors are in a different position or a different placement, and it's because it fell on me once and some of the eyeshadows popped out and I didn't remember where they go, so I just popped them back in. But thankfully they didn't break, and I will be keeping this eyeshadow palette. The next eyeshadow palette is this one here by Cargo Cosmetics, and this is the Tokyo in Bloom eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. I've only used this eyeshadow palette once, and I've had it for about 2 years now, so I'm thinking maybe getting rid of it, but I'm just not sure, so I'm going to be adding this to my 50-50 pile and creating a look with it to see if I want to keep it or not. The next eyeshadow palette here is by Laura Lee Los Angeles, and it's the Party Animal one. I believe this one I got in the boxy charm, and it's this one like this. I am not gonna be keeping this because I just know I will never pull this out. I love to pull it out to swatch it, and then that's it, and then I just put it away. But it's probably because I love swatching eyeshadows. I don't know, I just like doing that. So I will be putting this in my giveaway pile. I have two Anastasia palette. I have the Soft Glam palette here. I am not going to be getting rid of neither one because I love these palettes. Yeah, I am going to be keeping them. I just wanted to show you guys the palette. So this is Soft Glam, gorgeous palette. The other one I have is the Modern Renaissance one, and it looks like this. Such a gorgeous palette as well. So I'm definitely keeping these eyeshadow palettes. The other eyeshadow palette is by Crown Pro. I am going to be putting this in my giveaway eyeshadow palette. And I've had it for a few years now because I believe I also got this one in a boxy charm. This one here is the Violet Voss Essentials Pro Series eyeshadow palette. It's a pretty eyeshadow palette, but shades that would be in other eyeshadow palettes, so I am going to be putting this in my giveaway pile. I do have two Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. The first one is the Chocolate Bar. This is in the original packaging. I think they redid the packaging. No, not 100% sure, but it's a classic eyeshadow palette and I just can't seem to get rid of it, but I am going to be keeping this. The other Too Faced palette I have is the Natural Matte, which is like in the original packaging, the tin one. This was actually the first high-end eyeshadow palette that I purchased, so it has a sentimental value to me, so I am going to be keeping it, and I do grab it once in a while, so I'm going to keep this one. I also have the newer packaging one here. This one was given to me. I thought they were the same, so I hadn't opened it yet, but right now I was looking at it. I love the packaging on this. How cute is that? And then it has like the little heart right here. The eyeshadows are actually different. I thought they were the same. It was just updated packaging, but some of the eyeshadows are actually different. So I am going to be keeping both of these. I have the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. I keep contemplating on keeping it or not because I really don't gravitate towards this eyeshadow palette. I love these colors here and these colors here. It's hard for me to put these into like a lit. I'm gonna put this in my 50-50 pile and I'll try it out and see if I want to keep it or not. I have the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. And I just love these colors. So I am definitely keeping this one. I have the Cap Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. This one I think is the Day and Night eyeshadow palette. This one came in the May Boxy Charm. Have I used it? Or did I just swatch it? No, I don't think I've gotten around to using it. So I am going to be keeping this one. So if you have Boxy Charm and you got it for July. Some of us did get the El Mascua eyeshadow palette, Unveiled Artistry palette. It looks like this. Because this one is new to my collection, of course I will be keeping it. I also have the OPV Beauty Spotlight eyeshadow palette. And this one came in the June Boxy Charm. I've only used it twice, so I am going to keep it just to play with it some more. I do have two Morphe eyeshadow palettes. I am going to keep both of them. This one here, the first one is the 35O palette, and it looks like this. Definitely keeping that. Remember when this one came out, it was all the hype because of the colors. It was like one of the first to have like this color story or so some time ago. And then I have the 35N, and it's an all matte eyeshadow palette, so I'm definitely keeping this one as well. So some of the face palettes that I have that have face items as well as eyeshadows, one of them is the Ofra, and this one is the Good to Go palette. I'm gonna be putting this one in my 50-50 because I won't really gravitate to these eyeshadows just like this. The highlighter in this is really pretty. That's really the reason I would keep it, if anything, is because of this highlighter, but I will put it in my 50-50 to try it out again to see if I want to keep it. Another face and eyeshadow palette is this one, the Tarte. This one was a holiday collection years and years ago. I just cannot seem to let it go. It looks like this. It came out during the holidays, so it has all the eyeshadows here, two blushes, the highlighter, and two bronzers. Love the highlighter. All the face products are really nice. It also came with an eyeliner and a mascara. So I am going to be keeping this one. Do you guys have any of the holiday collections from years past? If you do, comment them in the comments below. I love to know what palettes you still have from holiday collections from the years past. I have both of the Emily Edit palettes. So this one is the Needs, which is the face and eyeshadows. So it has your bronzer, blush, highlighter. You can use this to set your under eyes if you want, or to brighten the face, and then your eyeshadows. It looks like I hit pan in them, but I actually didn't. This is one of the palettes my daughter niece about 2 years ago or so. They had gotten into it, so of course you see all of the marks and everything. Contemplating on keeping it or not. I really don't reach for it, so I am gonna put this one in my 50-50 pile and then kind of see if I'm gonna keep it or not. The other eyeshadow palette I have from the Emily Edit is the Wants, and I didn't mention it earlier, but this is a Revolution collab and it looks like this. I love the color story here. Definitely keeping this one. Just love these colors. I just look at this right here and I'm just like, ooh, fall is coming. I'm excited. I have a Physicians Formula quad. Oh my gosh, this is such an old school quad. The classic nudes from Physician Formula. It's just a classic 4 nude eyeshadow all matte palette, and I am keeping this one. I don't even know if they make this one anymore. This one here is the Rose in the Air, and this was a Color Icon eyeshadow palette which has 10 eyeshadows. I don't really gravitate towards this one, so it's like, oh, do I really need to keep it? I think I'm going to be putting this one in my 50-50 pile just because I think I want to keep it because it's Wet n Wild. I am going to put it in my 50-50 pile. I have here the Color Icon Go Commando. This is the 5-pan one. I will be keeping this one. Yes, I do still have this eyeshadow palette. This is the original Comfort Zone eyeshadow palette. It's all shimmer, no matte. It looks like this. I don't believe you can find these in the stores anymore, but I know some people have been finding them at Dollar Tree. So if I find it at Dollar Tree, I'm definitely going to pick it up and then discard this one. It's like a sentimental eyeshadow palette. I just can't seem to let it go. It was one of my first drugstore eyeshadow palettes. And then this was like one of like the first dual chrome eyeshadows. So definitely keeping this one. I have some trios. I have Silent Treatment, which is a really pretty eyeshadow trio. It's nice if like you're doing like a night out in the town, things like that. I have Sweet as Candy, which is basically like a darker version of Walking on Eggshells, which looks like this. I'm definitely keeping this one because this is one that I used for my wedding makeup. So keeping that one. And I will be keeping this one as well. These are really good eyeshadows. I'm actually keeping all 3 of these. These 2 Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes, they're both the Nude Awakening, and this one is also Nude Awakening. I've seen that they are very similar, maybe like 1 or 2 shades a little off, but other than that they're quite basically like the same. I am going to be swatching them side by side to see if they are very similar, and if they are, then I'm only going to keep one of them, and the one I would keep would be this one. And the reason I would keep this one is because packaging, I just love it. I love this packaging. You can see they look very similar. I also have this limited edition eyeshadow trio, and this one is in Jade. I haven't opened it yet. I did find this one at Dollar Tree, so I'm quite curious to see how it swatches and does. I will keep it just to play with it. The last eyeshadow palette I have is by Eloise the Queen. A Queen Lies in All of Us. Looks like this. I haven't used it yet, so I am gonna keep it just to play with it. Ooh, look at this color. So guess what happened? My camera ran out of memory and I didn't realize it, so it did not film, or it did not catch the outro. So here I am. Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate you guys sticking to the end. I do have a second part coming. I'm going to be doing a single eyeshadow declutter to kind of just go through my single eyeshadows. I haven't gone through my single eyeshadows in a good minute. I'm not sure if you guys are like that, but single eyeshadows just shoop, go over my head. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you consider subscribing. And I will see you guys all on the next video. Have a blessed day, everyone. Bye.